Hello, I'm Lin Li, one of the students from the University of Missouri at Columbia who went on a reporting trip to South Africa in May 2015. We closely observed South Africa's society and learned about its history and how the society ended apartheid 20 years ago. We talked to people in the impoverished township, at universities, at churches, and at companies' boardrooms. We asked them what are South Africa's biggest challenges in the post-apartheid era.
Oh, I love South Africa. I love South Africa. I don't think I'll ever move in South Africa. It just only needs a little bit of improvement in people, life of the people, how they live and their safety and what. But I'll rather stay in South Africa, not anywhere else.
I love South Africa because it's a democratic country, and there's, I can say there is peace because it's a multilingual country, so I like it. Yeah. I'm very proud to be a South African. Yeah. And then the biggest challenge here, in South Africa, I think is the unemployment rate and illiteracy, and I think
the challenge in South Africa now is the houses and work. Although we can be educated and do diplomas and having degrees, but it's very difficult to get work. But I think South Africa needs people with skills.
Okay.
For me, the challenge of South Africa is to build relationships. Due to our past with its detrimental consequences, we experience a lot of corruption and distrust. So we have now opportunity going into a sustainable development paradigm is to work with certain technologies which we organize people around them. So through the actual implementation strategy, we get to know each other better, and so then plan our next steps in order to make South Africa a better place for everybody.
I think our country needs collaborators who has walked the road and who will come on board not just for self-interest, but because they really want to change and help our society.
I think the biggest challenge for South Africa is in the field of education. So I think the solution then of that is in the implementation of our National Development Plan, our NDP, which is one of the great solutions that this country has ever seen, but unfortunately it's still just on paper. So it's a very long-term plan, and over a period of 10, 15 to 20 years, it will solve our education problem and consequently our employment problem and eventually our poverty problem.
Institutions are the fundamental building blocks of any society, successful society, and especially a successful economy. If we can get back to empowering those institutions, we would go a great measure and a great distance to resurrect South Africa.
One of the problems we have in South Africa is maths and science, which is really a national problem that exists within the schooling system, and one of the things that students find very difficult when they get to university. So we try to address that by providing a 4-year curriculum course in both the sciences and in finance, and certainly by providing extracurricular in terms of maths and science.
And regarding the future of this country, I see the biggest problem the fact that the gap is so large between the richest and the poorest, and we've got to narrow that gap. We should empower the working class, we should create more jobs, and we should alter our economic and education system to meet the needs of particularly the disadvantaged youth and children who do not have a proper literacy and numeracy and who are not able to sustain themselves in the world in which they live, in whatever way they feel capable of doing that. I am confident that South Africa can do this in the future because South Africa has enormous potential as a country, economic and otherwise, but more particularly because of its cultural capital. It has a lot of very talented people who, if we use our resources properly and if we mobilize our various aspects of society to reach those goals, either through non-governmental organizations or through the government, we can actually reach enormous heights in professions and all other parts of work.
The apartheid era fundamentally changed South Africa and the relationships among its people. 3 church ladies who went through the hardship held my hand and walked me around the shanty area they live in. They told me that history was harsh on them, but South African people's forgiveness is second to none. The society is rebuilding trust, educating its talents, and bridging the gap between the rich and the poor. On such a beautiful and diverse land, people are embracing the challenges and creating a brighter future together.
Maloni.